So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to stay organized as a business and how to think in terms of 5, 10 years, 15 years ahead. Because most people that I see that are starting online brands or starting online businesses, they do it because they want to get quick money. And in my opinion, quick money is anything that's under 5 years. People don't really look past that because they're focused on the now. But if you're getting into the e-com space or you want to build any type of long-term online digital business, you have to see past the 5 years. So you need to anticipate where this idea will take you and where you will be in the next 5 to 10 years. If you see this idea lasting longer than that, then you need to set up the foundation for that brand very well in the beginning. That way you don't crumble later on when you start to scale. Because if you don't have the right foundation and you try to scale, you will crumble. You will lose everything. You will not be prepared to scale. You will not have the systems in place to be able to scale. So if you think that the idea that you have now is a great idea, then you need to be able to think, can I sell this idea? Can I sell this company for millions of dollars down the road? How would that look like? What will the buyer need from me? What will allow me to be in the position where I could sell this brand for a couple $1 million? And what will allow me to do that? So if you're thinking about doing that and you're not looking for quick money, there's a lot of things that you need to understand about running a real brand. Because once you decide that you're going to do this long term, you need to start thinking about accounting, organization, documentation, all the platforms that you're on, having SOPs for all your team members, understanding what are the main problems that go on in your business and how to tackle them and how to systematize all those problems. So I use a platform called ClickUp to basically just dump everything that I have within my business as much as I can. Everything that you see on the left are my so-called departments. The first one is not really a department. It just allows me to understand what my income streams are for this specific brand. So I have the e-commerce brand, which is the physical products. I do want to come out with some type of digital membership that's not related to an app, but some type of digital membership for the brand that's thinking ahead. I haven't done it yet, but I do want to do it. And I also want to come out with a mobile app. So since I'm in the education space and AI is getting incredibly good, I'm going to use and leverage no code AI tools like Base 44 or Lovable, or there's one called Emergent. These tools are absolutely insane when it comes to building mobile apps. You kind of don't even need to hire a full stack developer anymore. So I am going to take advantage of that, and I am going to build a simple mobile app that probably won't even cost me more than a couple $100 to even manage or build, and launch it and see how it does. So this first one just allows me to understand where all my money is coming from for this specific brand, because I could have different workspaces for different brands. So for this brand, I have this workspace. I have different brands that I have different workspaces for. So this one is only for Paramedic Flash. Then the other ones are my other departments. So I have logistics in here. I document all the information from all of my manufacturers. I document all the products that I have and want to drop. Every single previous inspection that I've done for all the products that I've imported from China. Documentation on all my 3PLs. If I use a freight forwarder, then I have their information in here. Same thing for marketing. This one's like the biggest folder. So much stuff that I just dump on here that I want to have in one place. So for example, if I'm talking to my partner and I'm telling him we need to test more angles, or we need to find new landing pages, which ones have we tested before? We don't have to go through a Google Sheet or a Google Doc or a Google Drive and go here, there, open 30 tabs. Everything is documented here. So this serves as like your home base for your business. You could use whatever platform you want. I use this one, but I really encourage you to have just one platform where you have all your stuff. You document everything that you're doing within your business. That way, if you do plan on selling the brand, the buyer will see that this person is organized. This person is basically running this business on autopilot, and they don't really need to do much. You just need to hand over the keys and they can keep running it. So the more that you document, it's way better you're going to be when you sell the brand, if you want to sell the brand. But even if you don't want to sell the brand, staying organized and staying well documented will allow your business to run way smoother. And I'll give you a perfect example. I have two VAs. One of them answers customer service emails full time and also maybe does other things on the side. But the other one does organic posting on all my socials for the brand. The one that does customer service, sometimes she doesn't know how to answer a question. And along the way, if she has a question that she needs to ask me, I'll answer it for her, but I'll tell her to manually put that question and answer into here, into ClickUp. That way, if it comes up again and she forgets, she doesn't ask me again. She goes into ClickUp and she looks at the answer that I gave her previously, and she, references those answers instead of asking me. So eventually there'll be a point where she has no more questions for me, and all she has to do is come through here and look at the questions and look at the answer and then do her job. So that way, that takes a lot of time off my hands because I don't have to answer her. I could be doing something else. Same thing for your finances. I have all my banks in here, all my credit cards, all my bank accounts, IRS documents, business expenses, anything related to finances. I have organization for my team. These are past agencies that I used to work with. Um, all the documents for my trademark, my patent, everything here, tools, so all my Gmail accounts, all the logins and passwords for most of the accounts that I use, not all of them. For example, tools that I found in the past, like different softwares for ads, softwares for research, softwares for anything that you can think of. I just jotted down here. And also for the membership, once I start building the membership or the mobile app, I'll put tools in here that I want to use, different notes to keep in mind when I'm building the app. So this entire platform serves as like your home base to be able to document, to be able to make sure that you're organized, because the last thing that you want to do is run a business and have 150 tabs open. Nowadays, I still have a good amount of tabs open, but this one tab removes like 30 to 50 tabs because it allows me to stay organized. The only tabs that I have open are operational tabs. Like for example, my Triple Whale, my ads manager, Facebook, or my gem pages, Google Docs or Google Drive, my email, Facebook ad library, Shopify. These are all basic things that I have to have open. But if I did not have ClickUp, I would probably have another 30 tabs open. So this allows me to stay organized, and you don't have to use ClickUp, but I highly encourage you to use something similar. For example, a lot of people use, I think, Asana, or I can't remember off the top of my head, but this one is really, really good. It doesn't cost that much. I think I have maybe like 4 people on here, and it cost me like $100 a month, but it's super worth it, especially if you're at a scale, if you're at a level that you're doing at least 30 to 50K a month minimum in revenue. I think this is this is a good investment because it allows you to stay organized. And once you start making money, you can't be a cheap fuck. You need to understand that, yes, you need to preserve your cash, but you also need to understand that you need to take that money and invest it into things that is going to allow you to make more money. This is going to allow you to make more money because it's allowing you to stay organized. It's allowing you to focus on things that actually need your attention, which in my opinion should be creatives. It should be understanding your customer, making videos that resonate with people, because the better videos you make, the more people will click on your ad, the more people will buy from you, and it makes everything easier. So if you want the one thing to work on when it comes to your brand and you don't know what to work on, please trust me, work on creatives, understand your customer, do product research. Do customer research, do market research on the product that you're selling, understand your customer and work on that. Don't waste your time on working on random shit. I mean, this isn't really random shit. In my opinion, this is a good thing to work on. But if you want the one thing to focus on, it's understanding your customer and understanding your market and creating really good creatives to serve those people. I know a lot of people on YouTube don't really talk about this side of the business because the majority of YouTubers that run e-commerce brands, all they talk about is Facebook ads, because it is the one thing that drives your business. Like I wouldn't be here without Facebook ads. Facebook ads is a fucking monster. But I do like to talk about other stuff on the business that is actually very important, because even though you don't absolutely need this stuff, if you're running a real brand, a real business, and you're not running a scammy dropshipping store where you don't care about your emails, you don't care about your reviews, if you're running a real brand and real business, this is very important, because it's not like a pump and dump anymore. It's you're running a business. This is a real business with real people, real reviews. Like you have a reputation on the line. People see you and they know what you stand for, and you can't mess with that. So if you're at a point where you're running a real brand and you have a reputation, you have to systematize a lot of things, and you have to take shit seriously, and you have to hire A players, and you have to understand when to hire and fire people. So it's not just, running it by yourself. You could get to a good point running it by yourself, but I don't think you can sustain, maybe like you could probably get to $500,000 a month with a dropshipping product by yourself. But if you're going to start ordering inventory, if you're going to launch on Amazon, if you're going to launch on TikTok Shop, if you need creators, if you need a creative system, if you need, for example, creative strategy, and you need accounting, and you need all that shit, you're going to need a team. You can't do that shit by yourself. And when you have a team, you have more loose ends. You have more documents to keep track of. That's why having something like this is extremely important, because it keeps you organized. So I know that a lot of people may not watch this video because it's not sexy, but in my opinion, if you want the sauce, if you want to see what I'm doing, this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm showing you exactly what I'm doing. I'm organizing myself. You may see 30 tabs open, but all those tabs have a purpose. Everything on my computer has a purpose. I don't just open a random tab to open it. Over the last 5 years of me doing this shit, I've learned about so many different companies that do so much different shit. And there's a new tool every single day. So staying up to date on all these new tools and all these new softwares and so is so important, because there may be one tool that allows you to 10x your business, and if you don't know about it, then you're in the fucking dust. So this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm probably gonna make more videos like this where, I just tell you about tools that I use that allow me to run my brand. I've done over $2 million in revenue with just this brand. I've done more money with other little stores, but this brand has been the biggest brand that I've ever ran. $2 million in revenue in 2 years. I do want to get to $10 million before I sell it. I definitely think that the mobile app will help me get there. But I do think that, staying organized is very important. So if you enjoyed this video, if you liked the video, just leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.